take a strange divergent route because today has been the most amazing day of my life. And I think OPD said it was an amazing day in Central Oregon as well. Some good, some bad. But this was an amazingly good day for me. And it ties to a presentation because I'm going to give Todd a special gift. It's going to be about 1 minute, and I hope I can communicate this in a way that you understand it. But this building was built on the energy and toil of an immigrant, my mother. And she came to America 94 years ago as a 6-year-old. And today would be her 100th birthday. And on this day is Obama's 100th year in office.
100th day.
100th day in office, I'm sorry. Our son Jason received a $100,000 settlement on an issue we had outstanding. DRC is here. And our son Riley, who's a first-time home buyer, got approved for a loan today.
My name's Scott Lawrence. I'm a project manager in PGE's hydro licensing department. And what it means is we're getting more water in the river, in the Deschutes River. What it means to PGE, in addition to just a partnership with a lot of great conservation agencies that are working out here, working really hard, it's going to help us a lot for our reintroduction plans. 2 years ago we released steelhead fry in the Deschutes River.
Prior to the dams being built, the last run in like the 50s, there were about 1,000 spawning adults in the lower portion of what was Squaw Creek at the time. So you know, it's a lot of fish. I mean, in terms of steelhead, because it's probably 40, 50 million eggs in terms of on an annual basis. At that time, the district was drying and the farmers were drying up the stream. But the difference is this time, on top of natural flows, they'll have the minimum 15 to 20 second feet down there on top of the springs. So there's a very good chance that it will only be 5 or 6 years before literally somebody be able to step down here with a fly rod and harass a 10-pound steelhead, which is over the top for sisters, because obviously that really hasn't occurred since before 1880.
Wow.
The irrigation company was formed in 1891, and they literally just hooked up. This is a 1905 map that was surveyed by the federal and state government back, early 1900s, and they literally took mules and scrapers, and they just went right along. And here, this is Lower Bridge. So they had gotten part of the canal built, but they weren't completely done, and they finished that all out a few years later. And so what happens is there would be desert land selections under the Carry Act, and so people then, the selecting agents would select these lands, and then people would go and settle them.
Okay.
They would get a water right from an irrigation company or their own direct diversion out of the creek, and then basically they paid about $1 an acre to the federal government, but in order to get title, they had to reclaim and farm the land.
Gotcha.
And so snowpacks were fairly heavy in the late 1800s, so they kept, shall we say, creating more water rights in the state of Oregon.
Yeah.
But really, 1895 was about it.
So why is this so important? We spend a lot of time talking about watershed health, water quality, and we are absolutely convinced that there is a direct link between the health of the watershed and the health of the community. I think you can not only look around the country, but you can look around the world, and this has been studied over and over again. And it's not always obvious to everybody because we all tend to think narrowly in our particular interests. But when you think about it, the clean water, the resource, the fish, the habitat, the wildlife, people, and particularly in Central Oregon, which is much less dependent or can rely much less on its extractive industries than it could 20, 30 years ago, needs, it now relies much more on its quality of life. People coming here, bringing their money, and enjoying this wonderful community, recreation and tourism, and other things that are actually directly dependent on having a healthy stream.
Yeah, it's all right. Back out. He's sucking it in. It's official. Give your name and kind of your involvement with this. And
well, my name is Kurt Kahlberg. I've lived in Sisters about 20 years, and I'm just one of the partners of the Lazy Z properties.
Okay. So this has been going on for 5 years, the negotiations, and different owners were involved?
That's correct.
Pat Thompson, one of the owners of Lazy Z Meadows LLC. My involvement has to do with making sure that the water ran through the property to all the other users and to deal with the irrigation district and everyone involved to make sure that happened. And it's quite a water rights from 1890 and 1891. They were senior water rights that come out of the creek above the Three Sisters irrigation canal, and our ditch actually went under the canal. They had to build the canal over the top of it. So these water rights are very old, and some of the few that could be removed from the irrigation district. Potential gain for the DRC shoot.
So were these some of the original homesteaders who came out here? And
yeah, the irrigation ditch even had a name. It was called the Uncle John Ditch.
Running those water rights down the ditch to get it to the property, I would probably estimate 40% loss coming down the ditch. So not only is it the water being put back in the stream, but the water that was lost bringing it to the property is gained also.
Okay.
My name is David Abbas, and I'm a partner in the Lazy Z Meadows LLC there. And as they're saying here, they were unique water rights and unique to the area and the basin, and it was interesting and a joy to be a part of the whole transaction.
Great. Thanks for doing the right thing, guys.
Yeah, well,
really appreciate it.
Good.
Let's go drink some beer.
Okay.
All right. There you go.
It's a little dirty. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. This is
Molly on camera.
I don't think I said.
What's your position?
I work for the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation, the Columbia Basin Water Transaction Program.
Project for its long-term viability and.
Well, I think it's been really important to work with groups like the Deschutes River Conservancy and others that are working to put flows in stream, because over the long term, we're getting more water in stream for fish, for wildlife, and it also helps support the basic flows in the region, which are good both for the economy as well as for the fish. And in this area, you see Mid-Columbia steelhead making some returns, and as well, more on a region-wide basis, we're doing significant efforts to improve conditions for naturalist fish as well as resident fish and wildlife.
Part of it's protected in the stream. When this project's all done, it's a total of 6 second feet in stream permanently. So that block of water is actually a big deal in terms of a piece of the 20. And then the next project, the double 54s up above, that'll put at least 6 in as well. So, you know, we're moving along in leaps and bounds, and it's just something that, you know, is. It's been quite a journey over 10 years.
This has been 120 years here. Fair use, Mar Brigade. Fair use, brother.